Okay, so welcome to this week's short, and actually it will be a short this week because Steve's going away on holiday, so we've got limited time to edit me and him, and it takes a lot of editing, trust me. One thing I want to mention is these shorts, right? We're getting lots and lots of questions from viewers, people watching. We love that, by the way. We're going to try and cover the answer to those questions or product reviews, testing, our thoughts on particular subjects in these shorts. And this week is no exception because we're going to cover one of those. What else we got coming up? I can't remember.
So we've got Spartan kit. So we're going to look through all the sort of Spartan new kit that's coming out or is already out. Just little, again, following on with the Quadstick theme and stuff like that. So we're going to go through.
Have a look at the new.
So bipods, tripods, new products, stuff to use in longer grass. And sort of this time of year, basically.
Okay.
Longer bipods.
We've also got one of the questions that we've been asked 2 or 3 times this week, which I think is a direct follow-on from the DSC level 1 methods and training that we do here, sort of in last week or a couple of weeks ago, was use of sticks and what sticks are we using and why. Now we're both using quad sticks at the moment, but we didn't start that way, so we just want to look at why we've developed to where we are now. So we'll cover that later. And then what we got?
Just a quick run through, a quick update on what we've been doing this week. Well, what I've been doing this week.
I've done a bit this week, actually.
Yeah, you have actually.
I have. I've worked this week.
And you've been ill as well, haven't you?
Well, I'm still, you know, manning up. MTFU. We'll not explain that on camera.
Man the up.
They'll have to work that one out.
Yeah.
That's what he tells me all the
pills.
time. So I'm on my deathbed really, but here I am. So anyway, so coming up first, I think we're going to look at the. We're going to look at bipods, quads, and how we started, how we use them, and very briefly what we're using. Hope you enjoy it.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, so we're outside and it's a bit windy this morning, so apologise for the noise, but you know, with your stalking, you've got to go out in all weathers. Sticks. Want to cover sticks. We've been asked a lot about this, and we get asked a lot about this on range days, training days, etc. Because a lot of people don't use sticks properly and want to understand how to use them, but also not quite sure which sticks to get hold of. So a little bit of a potted history about my sort of involvement and development with using sticks for shooting is that very early on, being a tight Yorkshireman, somebody said to me that the best sort of bipod for stalking with sticks was B&Q canes, and I used them for years. It cost about £5.95 for 2 sort of thin metal sticks which were coated, you'll know the ones I mean, are coated with a green sort of polymer material. You drill a hole in them, put a bit of rubber around them, and you've got a single set of sticks, and I used them for absolutely years. And then quad sticks came on the market. I was a little bit late coming to the quad stick party because I think the early ones were a bit cumbersome. They're sort of like bamboo canes that were tied together with all sorts of bits of different string and all sorts of things. I couldn't really get on with them. Then I ended up with a set of sealant sticks, which were good sticks, and I used them for quite a long time. Quad sticks, well made. Limiting factor for them is that they only extend sort of so far. So if you want to actually get down for a kneeling shot, then you're limited to what you could sort of do with them. So then Viperflex came on board, and I've used Viperflex now for quite a number of years, and for me they're the benchmark on sticks on the market at the moment. What I'm using now and have done for a while, they're not cheap mind, but you get what you pay for, are the Carbon Pro sticks. Set of those here. Improvements to the system was this rubberized sort of almost like an inner tube around the sticks themselves, which actually cover the holes. These are the holes that you press the nipple in basically to extend length. They're whistled, so on the day like today, holding your sticks like that when you're out stalking, you'd get like a sailor's piping noise coming through, so that's an improvement. And the addition of carbon's great because they're really light, they're strong and they're light. So basically this is what we're using. It gives you the best mobile, stable platform out in the field that you can possibly have. And I never, and Rab's the same, we never ever go out without a set of sticks. Doesn't matter where we are, and that I include on the hill there as well. So for hill stalking, when I'm stalking, I take a set of sticks with me. People get themselves awfully tangled up using these, and it's quite simple, but like everything else in life, you've got to flip in practice. If you don't practice, you'll never work out a method. So you work out your own method, practice it, work out whatever method suits you, and this is what works for me. So I have my sticks set sort of slightly higher than shoulder height. So basically and by the way, the long bit goes to the front. I set the sticks out. So basically I'm pointing at a target. So I've got a roe deer out in the wood there in front of me. I'm looking down the top of those sticks now, line of sight, and there's my roe. So first of all, I know that I'm pointed in the right direction. Okay, keep control of the sticks. If you want to lean them against your body, you can, because I've got to unclip my harness. So flick the harness off, because we use the Z-aim system. Sticks are back into position, and I grip firmly, there's no bolt in this rifle for safety, around here, and in one movement I'll put the rifle down, pull the sticks back, and sit the sticks on the swivel. I'm now in control of that, but I'm getting into the angle where I can take a shot. Take control of the rifle. Now I'm in position. Lift the butt up, slide the rear support back, and then I'm set. Now I can make any adjustment I want to make. Now I've slightly moved the position of this rifle now, so I'm not pointing where I want to be pointing, and it's a bit high. Perfectly in control of the rifle. I get hold of the sticks and I move round now. I'm looking down the top of the rifle. There's my deer. I'm lining it up already, line of sight. So now I'm pointing at it, and I'm broadly speaking in the right direction. I can come behind, into my shoulder, lean forward. I push my thumb against, whether that be the Spartan swivel or whether that be the sling swivel, it doesn't matter which. I'll probably prefer to go forward onto the Spartan, because it just gives me a bit more of a stable platform. This thumb will push gently against that, and these fingers will close down, and you can see me already. I'm already moving into position. I'm looking over the top of the rifle. There's my deer, bang, stable as you like. You've got a lot of movement here, so if your deer's moving, you've got all that distance to move. But the other thing with the sticks is the little bit of weight pushing down on the sticks. You've got this nice sort of supported angle. Is I can move that rifle anywhere I want. I can slowly. It's not a jerky movement. I can follow the deer around. I'm not going to do it because Rab's there, and I get funny about rifles even with no bolts in, pointing at people. But I can walk all the way around, and I can keep following that deer. I'm not moving. I'm not moving much. I'm not moving any sharp movement to alert the deer. I'll pick it up again there, in position, into shoulder, bang, and that is rock steady. So that is how I use a set of sticks. If you find it uncomfortable with one hand, and some of the ladies that I've taken out have not been able to actually do that, then use your body. You can use your body to support the sticks, and you can get control of the rifle with two hands, and then get yourself set up. But it's more or less a fairly straightforward movement to come round onto the sticks. So basically that's how I use the sticks, and for me then quads, I just would not go stalking now without them. And a little bit of a word about the tripod system, the trigger system, and the various systems that are similar to that. I really don't find that personally to be a very stable platform. Many people ask me about it. Quads v tripod. For stalking and setting up a set of sticks like that, then I don't personally would never use the tripod. I just don't think you get the same stability you get from these sticks. There are lots and lots of different options on the market. If you're not able to actually afford the Viperflex sticks, then there are some cheaper options which are almost as good, which you can get for probably not much more than 100 quid. So it's a good system. So that's what works for me.
Right guys, so that's the way Chris does it. I'm now going to show you the way that I do it. But firstly, before I show you on the normal quad sticks, I just want to show you as well. So the quad sticks, you can actually buy a fifth leg that attaches on to the quad stick. So in effect, when you set up the sticks, you have a tripod at the front and a bipod at the rear. So maximum stability. I use the tripod, the fifth leg, for zeroing, because I always like to zero off the medium that I'm going to be shooting off of the most. And as Chris says, 95, probably 98% of my shots are off the quad sticks. But just to let you see out there, and I'll just show you quickly how stable it is with those on. So basically the rifle, technically, will sit there by itself on your quad sticks. So just to show you how stable it is. Yep. Happy with that, guys? But what I'm going to show you now is how I use the quad sticks separately, as in by themselves. A slightly different technique from Chris, because I'm a slightly different body shape, as you can tell. But basically, so these are Chris's quad sticks. I normally have my quad sticks up, set between my nose height. Then that way, I can use my quad sticks also with my binoculars, and I've got a platform for my binoculars. Same thing. Deer directly in front of us, all the way over, and I basically push the sticks away from me, so I'm not having to move my body. The only thing that's moving is the rifle, and then it's straight up into here. What I see a lot of people doing, so the difference I do between Chris places his rear support just behind the pistol grip here. I personally put it all the way to the end for two reasons. One, that gives me a longer base, so it gives me more stability with less movement over that sort of distance. It's all about maths and trigonometry and all that sort of stuff. But also, when I'm in this position here, the leg is on, the rear leg is on my leg. It's also on my big fat gut, but if you obviously are a bit skinnier, it'll be on your chest. But also, my arm is down on the rear one here. And it just, for me personally, and when I hold the rifle, very similar to Chris, but I always pinch. So my 3 fingers here are across the top, and I pinch the rifle here, just to give me that left and right lateral movement. Get down into the rifle, and it's as stable as a rock. But it's just as many points of contact as possible. I do see people all the time shooting proper square on with their ass stuck out like this. You're not getting the maximum benefit of the sticks. What you need is that bit of stability. So as you'll probably see from some of the cheaper sticks, for example, I'm going to put it out there, bushwear, you get a piece of string. A lot of people don't actually know how to use the string either. We'll go into that probably in another one because we don't have a set with us at the moment. But basically you use that string to stand on and then push out on. And that gives you your stability for your rear. And it also gives you a set distance between the two points of contact for the rifle. But that's the way I use it, that's the way I prefer. But ultimately, practice for accuracy, but also do whatever makes you feel more comfortable with the shot. Yeah, as I say, these are probably a bit small for me, height-wise. So I like a nice wide base, so the taller they are, the wider base you are, but again, that can be a hindrance because you might not have that much area to play with. And yeah, so practice, even if it's in your living room. Also, practice getting that rifle up onto them without making a noise and without moving too fast. It's the way most of my clients lose deer.
Yeah, movement.
Too fast, or big jerky movements. So get it all nice, smooth and calm. Put it out, into the shoulder, then you're there. One thing I will say is you don't always have to have it set up like this. You can also, if you've not got a lot of time on the deer, and the deer has got a lot of movement to it, or you're switching from one deer to another, you can also still use these as a bipod. So you've still got that shorter range, stability, but you can also then swivel around if needed on the tripod without having to move the bipod itself. Yeah, so just another technique. Hope that helps you guys.
Well, it helped me, Rob. I think I've got to work on my body shape.
Fuel machine for a sex god.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, one thing to stress is that this is what works for Rob and I. Not everybody, will agree. People have got their own systems, their own platforms. Whatever works for you works for you. This is what works for us, and that's our thoughts on it. What we're going to bring you now, though, we've got some Spartan equipment, bipods, tripods, new kit to us. We're going to test that out over the next few weeks, so we'll introduce that to you now and then give you our thoughts on it as a follow-up in a later programme. Okay, guys, some weeks ago now I mentioned that I changed over to the Spartan bipod system, which basically was a result of getting the thing stuck on my back, and also it's a bit uncomfortable at times having a bipod if you're wearing lightweight gear, and it kind of slightly uncomfortable, and there's weight on the rifle. So I like the system. One of the problems I found in thick cover, which we're in at the moment, is if I do actually want to go down and use a bipod, and I will use a bipod in preference to sticks when I can. I mean, accepted most of the time, 90% of the time we can't, so we're on them. But I will use them, is that the Pro system extends to about 12 inches, which at the moment, and where I was on the 2 occasions when I wanted to use it this last couple of weeks, the cover's too high. So the awfully nice guys at Highland Outdoors explained to me that there are various options on the Spartan system, and different options. Some of them are longer and flexible, so supplied me with one of these to try. So basically I'm using the Talongear 10. Effectively now you've got a longer option. I mean, there are various other options. Rob's going to cover them in a minute, but I do like these because it's springbok, and it's sort of wiggly. So you can, there's lots of flexibility when you get down onto that. So I want to get out and try that. I mean, the only kind of drawback as far as I can see with this is actually quite long, so carrying it around. But I think that will attach to the probably to the side of the Predator, or I might even attach it to the sticks. I don't know. I'm going to play around with that. But clearly that is one way around high cover if you want to use a bipod. I mean, it's different if you're out in a static position and all the rest of it's not a problem, is it? You've got it in your rucksack or whatever you're carrying it. Most of the time I'm stalking, so I need to see just how adaptable that is to carry around with me in the field. But the whole point of field tests on new bits of kit is experimenting. So I like the principle. I do like the flexibility of this from the off, and it's just great. Again, so it's multi interchangeable between all the rifles I've got. So I'm going to have a look at that and just see practically if it works for me. So I'll report back on that in the relatively near future.
Just a quick one to add on that, mate. You can get different lengths to the legs as well, so you can actually have it as a proper long bipod system.
Yeah, good point, as Rob says. So, you know, very adaptable. That's probably right for me, that. I'll probably use that at that length. But yeah, we'll see how it works.
System we're going to look at is the bipod system, the VDA, Spartan VDA bipod system. This is more for your sort of tactical type guys with a Picatinny rail on the bottom, and basically works exactly the same as a Pro, but it's got spring legs, but it is also quick detach with the circle system. It's not quite the same system as what Chris has got on his rifle. This one is an adapter on here that fits onto it's basically a circular lock-in system that locks in to your Picatinny or Weaver rail. This is probably more designed for the guys with the tactical rifles, or to stick in your backpack when you're going up hills and stuff, if you're going out for a long day. If I was using day-to-day stalking, I would just have the Pro. But yeah, we'll get this on the range over the next few days and out in the field and give it a go, see how it goes. Right guys, the next one we're going to look at is the Spartan hoplite system. This is a tripod system that fits into your normal Spartan Pro type cups on the rifle, same as what Chris had with his springbok earlier. Just magnetic, so it's nice and easy to fit and release. Right, so tripod system. I'd probably suggest this is more for your sort of guys going up into the mountains for stags, or not the mountains but the hills, and being in a static position for a while. Very, very versatile, so extends all the way out. You can even use the bottom legs here. You can actually use the bottom legs from the springbok system if you wanted it even bigger. But all locks out, all nice and firm. Can also be used at so these angles here lock out, so you can have the legs going out to different angles. You can almost have it on the ground as well, sitting really, really flat if you put it all the way down. And obviously your rifle sits in here, and the tension on the swivel at the top can be changed. again, we'll get this out over the next few days, give it a go and see how it performs in the field. And then we can go into more detail.
Right, so I've got to say I'm quite looking forward to getting out and testing these new bits of kit. It's always nice to test new bits of kit in the field.
Yeah, nice shiny new stuff. Let's get out there and test it. Let's wrap it up, shall we?
So we'll wrap it up, yeah. Thanks very much for watching. Good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
And remember, watch this space.
Cheers, guys.